Hey everybody, it's Jeremy here, and I'm back in with another Roblox scripting tutorial. This one's going to be more focused on UI more than scripting. There's going to be some scripting to it, just kind of show you how to implement it into your game, like the setup for it. But it's mostly just showing you the setup for a UI or something like this. But there is scripting involved to make this function. So what I'm showing how to make here is a circular progress bar. This can be used for many things. This can be used for your like a profile for a player to show their level and how much experience they have. This could be used to show like the percentage of an item that has been claimed in a game. Like I say, if you have like 1,000 copies of the item in the game, and there's like 568 of them claimed out of 1,000, you can show the percentage of them that have been claimed. I mean, there's many use cases for this. You can show data and all that. But yeah, so let's go ahead. Let me show you an example here of how this works. I've got one that just chooses a random number between 0 and 100 and fills it in here. So it shows 27.6%. And as you can see, it filled it in 27.6%. So yeah, so let me go ahead and just go ahead and disable this. Let me just go ahead and just drag this out and put it into replicated storage just to get it out of the way. So we're gonna start off. You're gonna need a screen GUI instead of the starter GUI. We're gonna inside the screen GUI we'll place a frame. I'm gonna go ahead and center this for the sake of the video, so it's easy to see what we're working with. 0, 0.5, 0. There we go. And I'm going to make this one a little bigger than the other one, so I'm going to go make it like 160 by 160 pixels. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to make the background transparency of this frame 1. That way it's invisible, because this is like the holder frame. I'm going to call this progress. And inside of this frame, we're going to want to place a another frame. I'm going to go ahead and call this one background. Ooh. There we go, background. And I'm going to go ahead and center this one as well. Just go 0.50, 0.50, and just go ahead and make it the size of the holder frame, so 1010. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and place a UI corner element inside of this. And I'm going to set the corner radius property to 0.5, 0. So it's a circle. I'm going to drag this away from the spawn point so you can kind of see it a little better. I'm going to make this one kind of like maybe like a dark theme. So I'll go ahead and make the background, make it like a darker gray. Go ahead and add some blue to it to kind of make it look a little bit nicer, a little bit darker. There we go. And that's it for the background. We'll go ahead and create 2 more frames inside the progress frame. The first one will be called left, and the other one will be called right. All right, so I'm going to start up by working on the left side here. I'm going to make the position stays the same, but we're going to make this 0.5, 0, 1, 0 for the size, and the background transparency will be 1. And let's go ahead and just move the right side out of the way to get done with. We're going to set the position to 1, 0, 0, 0, and then we're going to set the anchor point to 1, 0. And then the same size as the previous one, 0.5, 0, 1, 0, and the background transparency of 1. All right, so that's out of the way. We're going to select both of these and set the Eclipse Descendants property to true. And inside of the left side, we'll go ahead and create a frame. I'm going to call this frame circle. And this circle will have a size of 1, 0, 1, 0 to make it the size of the frame here. And we can go ahead and copy the UI corner, duplicate it, and that we create inside the background. We can go ahead and drag it down into circle here. We just want the same properties and everything as that. And you'll notice it's kind of like a bar shape, vertical bar. To fix that, we will go ahead and make this relative y for the size constraint. And as you can see, it kind of looks like a half circle, but it is a full circle. But because it has clips descendants set to true on the holder frame for it, it will only show half the circle. One thing I forgot to mention, I'm going to set the background z index to 0 so that it stays under everything. So if we move anything around, it stays on the bottom. And these can stay the same at 1. And inside the circle, we will go ahead and place a UI gradient. And we will be using the rotation and transparency properties inside our script. Actually, no, just the rotation inside the script, but the transparency is necessary to change. I'm going to go ahead and set the color to a blue, just like I used in the example. All right, so let's go ahead and change the transparency. So you're going to want to click on the value, and you'll see there's 3 dots. We'll go ahead and click on that. I'm going to create 2 new points. And the first point that we created, I'm going to set the time to 0.5 and set the value to 0. The second one will have a value of 0.501 and a value of 1. And then the last point that is already there, we will set the value to 1. That way you get something that looks like this. They are slightly apart in the middle to make a 50-50 gradient, transparent, and it's not even really a gradient, it just kind of makes half of it transparent and half of it a solid color, or whatever your gradient may be. Now, this is already done here. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this, and in one of them, set the rotation of the UI gradient to 180. This is going to be the one that stays on the left side. The other one will get dragged into the right side, and just like we did with the holder frame for the right side, we're going to set the anchor point to 1, 0, and then the position to 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. There we go. There we go. So there we go. And you'll notice it is at basically 0%. This is a weird studio bug. On some of them that I create, it does hide this all the way using clips descendants, but others it just won't. Don't know why it does that. But we'll go ahead and this shouldn't show up in game. From what I've noticed, it just shows in studio like that. But if we go in game, it kind of just it goes away. Let's go ahead and see. Go ahead and create another frame inside of progress, and we're going to call this one center. And we can just go ahead and center it using the anchor point and the size of, the position of 0.5, 0, 0.5, 0. And the size will be 0.9, 0, 0.9, 0. There we go. And the color I will choose for this one, let me just go ahead and copy the background color and just make it a little lighter. There we go. And same thing as I did earlier, just go ahead and duplicate the UI corner, place it inside that, and we have the centerpiece. And we can go ahead and put a text label inside that. And set the anchor point to 0.5 and center it. Then 1, 0, 0.25, 0 will do for the size. Make that transparent. This is just going to be kind of just like the percentage. Here, that'll be the text label that displays the percentage. And we will go ahead and use Ubuntu font and make it medium, text scaled, make it white, maybe a little bit of blue to it to kind of make it go with the flow there. And then that should be good. Just go ahead and set the default text to 0%. Now we've got a frame. I don't know. It is kind of annoying that it does that. It shouldn't show up in game, like I said, but it is kind of annoying. If it does, for whatever reason, stay in game, you can just set the position, the offset to 1 pixel on the actual circle itself, and it should fix itself. There we go. Because it, for whatever reason, shifts it off by 1 pixel, and it just looks off. But anyway, set that back. All right, so let's go ahead and create a local script. So I'm going to show you how to implement this. So call that controller. So we're going to go ahead and use, for this example, let me just go ahead and get the UI. So do local progress equal to script.parent. And the left is equal to progress, wait for child, left, wait for child circle. Local right is equal to progress, wait for child right, wait for child circle, and then local center is equal to progress, wait for child center. All right. So for the example, I'll create a number value. We're going to call the variable percentage is instance.new number value. There we go. And we'll pick up on the value changed event. So we'll do percentage get property change signal value. So when the value changes, we'll connect it to a function that will get called, and we'll do local rotation is equal to math.floor. And inside math.floor, we'll do math.clamp and set the x value to percentage.value, and the minimum will be 0. Oh, I gotta multiply that by 3.6 as well. And then we'll set the min to 0, max at 360. And basically just kind of sets it to a minimum of 0 degrees and a maximum of 360 degrees. All right. And we'll go ahead and set the percentage text label to have the value. So do center dot percentage text is equal to math dot floor. I'm gonna do percentage dot value times 10 divided by 10. Concat that to a percent sign, and then this is where we will get into where we're using the value here and how we actually make the a percentage of 0 to 100% reflect on the rotation of the gradient. So we will set the right side first. So right dot UI gradient dot rotation is equal to math dot clamp, and we will use the rotation value, and we will make sure it's a value between 0 and 180, because 180 degrees is about 50%, and that will basically be full rotation of that gradient. And that's when we'll start anything above 180, we'll need to go move on to the other side and start rotating the other gradient, which is where we'll get into the left side here. That UI gradient dot rotation will be math dot clamp. And like we did, as we set in the beginning here, we set the left side's rotation to 180. We're going to do between 180 and 360. So math.clamp, rotation between 180 and 360. All right. Now, we're going to go ahead and create a tween to tween the number. So local tween service, game get service, tween service. There we go. And using tween service, we will create a tween. Tween is equal to tween service create passing in the percentage. We'll create tween info dot new. If I can actually type, there we go. 1 for the time, 1 second, and then enum.using style dots. We'll do court. We'll do court. Enum.using direction will be out. All right. You can do that however you want it, but that's how I'm gonna set it up here. And then the goal will be value is equal to math.random times 100. That way we can get a random decimal between 0 and 100 or random float. We could use the random number generator using random.new, but I'm just going to use the standard math.random. And then we'll just go ahead and do tween :play so we can run this test. I'm also going to do task.wait 2 seconds, or actually just do 1.5. 1.5 should be long enough for the game to load. Alrighty. What's this controller here? All right, so this is what we have, and we hit play. Should fill it. There we go. 12% is what it chose. We're going to go ahead and run that again. 40.4%. And do one final time here. And it's going to choose. Let me give it a number between 50 and 100. That way it fills it in all the way to kind of give you that nice example. So do 50, 100. We don't need a decimal. That's just an example. There you go, 60%. As you can see, it smoothly transitions into the next one. We have 96%. Now you kind of see how if I run it in game, it that offset kind of kicks in. It's not even 1 pixel. It's like a half a pixel for whatever reason is messing it up. If I set this to 0, I honestly don't know why it does that. But yeah, anyway, so hopefully you found this video helpful. I do suggest creating circular images to make your UIs, but this is kind of like an example, just kind of like how the concept of it, how it works. You showing that you can actually do it using Roblox's built-in elements. You don't have to import anything, no images, nothing at all, just straight raw Roblox assets. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. I don't expect this to be the code you use, but the general concept is you're basically just rotating the gradient based on a given percentage. And so that's something that you just implement into your current system, however it's set up for you. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, leave a like. If you want to see more videos, I don't upload too often, but when I do kind of try and make it something useful and something that's not really talked about much. I know I think there's like a couple of like videos already out there on how to do this kind of stuff. But this is just kind of one that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I finally just got around to doing it. So yeah. Anyway, see you guys in the next video, and peace.